Similarly, the word Mari or Mary may also be derived from Sanskrit Matri. Mary is worshipped as a mother goddess. The word Adam is derived from a Hebrew word, Adama, which means the earth. Similarly, the SKT, Adityam, is derived from Aditi, which also means the earth. Hence the primary meaning of both the words, Adam and Adityam, would be earthly one. His papers provide detailed etymologies of the word Abraham. The word Adam can also be derived from Sanskrit, Adityam, with the help of the rule of haplology also. Haplology is the name given by Bloomfield to the phenomenon where of the two similar syllables following each other, one is dropped. The word Adityam will change to Adam under the influence of this rule in the following way. Adityam to Adatam to Adadam, Tita D to Adam, haplology. It would be interesting to note here that the Sanskrit Adityam, represented by the same rule, would change to Adan. Adityan to Aditan to Atadan, Dita T to Atam to Atan. This is interesting, for it provides an Indo-European derivation for the Egyptian word Atan. Moreover, the Vayu Purana mentions Manoah's Bharat. Intriguing is Shukla's derivation of RCAM. We may consider another Sanskrit word, RCAM, which may become Akam and then Ayicham, which is a Hebrew word. It can be shown that the Hebrew word Elohim can be derived from the SKT. Drummer to Ibrahim, rule of vowelization, to Ibrahim, rule of stress, to Elohim to Elohim. Hence the expression Adonai Elohim becomes equivalent to the Aditya Brahma. Furthermore, he notes Sevita to Sabiru to Habitru, to Habiru to Habiru to PR Egyptian, Apiru, Ibru, Ibri, Ibran. Another etymology is Ixwaku to Isfahu to Isahu to Ishq, Isaac. Further, Shukla writes, it may also be mentioned here that Satarupa, the name of the daughter wife of Manu, is also one of the names of the daughter consort of Brahma. From this we may note the case of Noah's daughters and Manu, the flood survivor. Another interesting derivation is also supplied, Krishna to Christ. We know that the Bengali pronunciation of the word Krishna is Christ. Christo, or Christ, is only a matter of spelling. Moreover, Yehashua has been derived from the Sanskrit word Yasaswa. It would also appear that Jehovah is also related to a Sanskrit word. This word, Jehovah, could, however, be equated with the Vedic word Jehovah, which may be considered, grammatically, both as an adjective and a proper noun. In the former sense, the word Jehovah has been used at least 4 times in the Rig Veda. 4. Bharat, Ibri, Iberia, Hebrew. One of the most striking points is the discovery of an etymological connection between the words Hebrew and Bharat. Hebrews and Rig Veda. Let us first understand the real nature of the Rig Veda. Both Devdasa and Sudasa belong to the tribe of the Bharats. All Bharats won a number of victories over their Dasa and Aryan enemies. It is their wars and victories which have been repeatedly sung by their priests in the Rig Veda, and we have therefore no hesitation in naming it as Bharat Veda, or the Veda of the Bharats, and the Bharats themselves as the Rigvedic Aryans. If the Rig Veda is supposed to deal with the entry of the Aryans into India, we would like to argue that it deals only with the entry of Bharats. Now let us consider the word Bharat. This word is formed from the Sanskrit Bhara, which under the sway of the rule of vowelization, predecessors may assume the form Ibar, Ibo, Ibri, 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 Ibrini, etc., which have been equated with the term Hebrew. He then continues, the Hebrews may be related to the Rigvedic Aryan tribes of Bharats. In this way, we can confidently say that the statement, Rigveda is essentially the Bharat Veda, means that it is the Veda of the Hebrews. It is hence no wonder to find close similarities between the Rigveda and the Holy Bible. And reading is his statement that the famous Vyasakapi and some other allied saktas can be best understood and appreciated only in the form of the Book of Esther. Further discussion of the term Hebrew. We have mentioned earlier that another meaning of the term Savita, the Sanskrit form of the term Hebrew, is Brahmana. Now let us consider the word Brahmana. If we remove the suffix mana from this word, then it becomes Bra, which, if pronounced repeatedly, gives the word Habra, which is nearer to the word Hebrew. Also that both the words, written without vowel signs, would give BRH and HBR, respectively. The similarity is evident. It would be interesting to note another Sanskrit word, Vipra, a synonym of Brahmana, in the same connection. The word Vipra becomes Iper in colloquial Marathi. Now consider the word Iper. This word may assume the forms Iba, P2B, Ibri, Ibre, Ibrani, etc. and, on being subjected to the reverse operations of the rules of prothesis and anaptexis in succession, would reduce PR to PRM, which we have already shown to be the other form of Hebrew. This leads us to the conclusion that the Hebrews can be identified unhesitatingly with these Indian Brahmins who had migrated from India in the very early dawn of the Vedic period. The rule of prosthesis Shukla describes as the process of vowels developing before consonants, e.g. SKT, Rudina, Raja, Lagu, NR, Nakha, Naman, which he claims led to Greek Erutros, Erobos, Elicus, Anair, Vanuch, Onama. The rule of anaptexis is the insertion of vowel between combination of words. Also, in both Avestan and Awadhi Hindi, the words mantra and mantra are used, and not the Sanskrit mantra. 5. Cow worship. It may be instructive to cite additional facts in favor of the common origin of Jews and Brahmins which have arisen after Shukla's work. One striking common feature linking Brahmins with Jews is that of cow worship. When Moses descended from Sinai, he found the Jews worshipping the golden calf. Likewise, attributes the making of a golden calf to Aaron at Mount Sinai, and Jeroboam, in making the sanctuaries of Beth-el and Dan the recipients of his royal patronage, placed in them images of Yahweh made of gold in the calf form, the fame of which went far and wide. Justro but in 1906, cow worship was common amongst Hebrews. Among the Hebrews, as among the other agricultural Semites, the bull was associated with deity in a sacred character. The form in which this thought found expression in Israel was in their representation of Yahweh by an image of an ox or bull made of gold. There was also a representation of Yahweh by an image of an ox or bull made of gold. Finally, the 12 oxen on which rested the great laver in the Temple of Solomon are regarded as evidence that there was some sacred character attached to the bull. The sacredness of the cow is likewise a fundamental part of Brahmanism. Dying, without the expectation of a reward, for the sake of Brahmanas and of cows, or in the defense of women and children, secures beatitude to those excluded. I call on you the sons of Dias, the Ishwins, that a dark cow to my red kine be added. He shall not touch with his foot a Brahmana, a cow, nor any other venerable beings. India and Hindu are likewise derived from Hindu, the name of the moon god, also called Soma. The Somanath temple in Gujarat is dedicated to the moon god. In the name of Rama, Ramachandra, the suffix Chandra is derived from the Semitic Esin. Parashurama, Rama with the axe, one of the incarnations of Vishnu, is the foremost deity for many Brahmins. The Parashurama is derived from Paransin, a title of the moon god Sin. Thus both Ramas are votaries of the moon. Another common point shared by Jews and Brahmins is the concept of negative memories regarding Asuras. Historians have long wrestled with this question, as to why the Asuras are treated with such fear in the Vedas. However, this fear of Asuras amongst Brahmins becomes understood when one considers that the Assyrians deported the Jews. Muslims also use the term Ashura for the day of Muharram. You would have noticed that the video playing in the background is not in alignment with the subtitles in this video. Well, all I wanted to show here was the difference in perspective between mainstream history and the similarities. The mainstream experts say that Hebrew originated from the Canaanite laborers or migrators from Egypt. So basically Hebrew is originated from pre-Israel Canaanites and Egyptians. What more interesting is that we just proved in the last videos that Canaanites had Vedic similarities like gods, epics and many more. Egyptians on the other hand is also a lost part of Sanatan Satya. We will prove the Vedic connections of Egypt in the upcoming videos. So this is the end of Israel series. I know this series has born very complex. So, I will try to reduce the words to convertible statements only.